we're gonna get this started. So the plan is welcome. I'm not gonna be weird about this. So yeah, yo, what's up, YouTube? This is a live stream. We are reacting to the Pokemon Champions trailer, which I've seen already, but we're now gonna go back and kind of break it down. There's a ton of new details that got released on the website, which I have on a second tab here that we're gonna take a peek at. And then yeah, then there's a bunch of other details on other sites that I'm going to try to like pull up from screenshots, and we're going to see, does Champions look good? Is it something that people should be interested in? Let's find out. And yeah, we're going to deep dive. We got the Twitch chat on there. Friendly reminder, I stream on Twitch and YouTube, and yeah, let's get into this. All right, YouTube intro done. So the funniest part, so we're watching, yeah, like Tar was talking about, we're watching this trailer during the Pokemon Direct, and it literally crashes right before they revealed the date. Like, the one thing I really wanted to see was the date, and the Twitch stream crashed. So we had to go back to YouTube, and YouTube was like 2 minutes behind, man. The clip is in the Just What You Missed channel and in the Clips channel if anybody wants to go watch it. But it's a fantastic clip. But yeah, it was so ridiculous, dude. Like, the one thing. So again, we're gonna jump into this trailer. I'm gonna pause and maybe do some enhancing just to see. But this was the trailer that was released today in the Direct, and we're gonna deep dive because I am excited about Champions, and like in general, the new details don't have me worried at all. I think it's gonna be really good. So I'm gonna turn the sub alerts off. They'll still come up in the channel. So again, the biggest thing that they showed in this trailer to me was, I mean, we already knew it was going to be mobile, but they really wanted to showcase this. Okay, so this is the first thing. Like, genuinely, they have already showed, I'm gonna pull up a screenshot of this. So they have this like tournament thing. Hold on. They have this tournament thing, and based on this screenshot, which I'm gonna link here. I'm gonna upload this one to, so again, I'm gonna try to incorporate pictures as they come in. But I think along with this being shown off in the video as like a tournament, and this right here, I think they're gonna have a mini private mode tournament mode. This is the feel that I get from this. Right? They show off the tournament, you're battling with friends, and then they have this, which literally, to me, looks like a tournament. You can create private lobbies where multiple battles can take place, presuming allow for spectators as well. Like, this to me is a tournament, which I think is pretty cool. It looks like up to 8 players. But the cool thing is let's just say we wanted to do like an event in the Discord or something where we got a bunch of people doing tournaments. You could do basically like pools, right? This could be like one pool, another group could do a pool, and then it converges into like the final 8. So it's really nice and easy again, we'll see how it looks like in game. But the fact that they even have a tournament option for private lobbies is really nice. If it's like it looks, again, it's in Japanese, so I don't know like if these are like codes or what these things say. This was shown off on I think the Japanese Direct. We never get the full information. So yeah, I really like that they're gonna potentially have this built in. Again, it's not groundbreaking. You could organize your own tournaments, but the fact that they have something built in already is to me a really good sign of just getting something easily organized. So pretty cool. So megas, obviously, were a big showcase here. So you're on your phone. Okay, I wanna pause this a little bit. So this is on mobile. Again, the big thing, this was already known, but the percentages is a huge quality of life change. Because you now don't have to like guesstimate how much HP they have for like calculating, doing calcs and stuff. This is very nice. This is singles 3 versus 3. Yeah, this is not 6 versus 6. I highly doubt that 6 versus 6 is going to be anything but private games. That would be my guess. So this is just standard 3 versus 3 BSS, and then they'll do doubles, obviously, so for VGC. So yeah, this looks good. Obviously, megas. These are megas are going to be involved. Based on some of the details later, it looks like there's going to be, and I'll showcase that on the website when we take a peek at it. But it looks like there's going to be basically like rotating stuff with which one you want. Whether you can choose one or the other, or if it's just always going to be megas and then they'll swap to always be Dynamax or always be Terra, we'll find out. But there'll be, it looks like it's going to be multiple different ways. Okay, this is one thing I wanted to see. Okay, so they all have a Champions logo on their phone, but then it like swaps to something. Okay. I want to like zoom in, but it's so hard to see. And I'm wondering if like this is maybe like this shows one Pokemon and their move. It looks like a stat screen, yeah. And yeah, so I'm just trying to like, I guess maybe these are just like the available mons that they have. But they're all playing together. Again, this is just a, okay. That's Greninja? Yeah, Greninja. These are all just the like Greninja had a mega in Zaw, correct? I haven't played Zaw yet, so I don't know all the megas. Total 6 slots in a party. Yeah, you can see total 6 slots because you can do up to 6. 6v6 will be available. But 3 versus 3 will probably be more. If they do 6 versus 6 ranked as well, I will lose it. I don't think they will. Like, you already knew this guy was cooked, dude. The moment they showed the little girl versus, like, the weird, like, bad guy looking dude, you knew she was gonna win. No. Yeah. So April 2026. That's fantastic. I was hoping for something like late March, but probably sometime early April, mid-April is I think really good. It gives people plenty of time to get excited for it. And then the big thing is mobile version scheduled for release later this year. So I think this is probably going to be before the champions come out. It might come out, or the championship comes out. Maybe it comes out after or during. I don't think it's going to be super late. And the reason why I don't think it's going to be super late is because they're going to make so much money off the mobile game. And so I don't think they want to lose too much hype in terms of when this was released. I think the April release date is probably because they want to get a working version out for people to use during the championship. I think that is like the main thing. You can't drop them both at the same time and then it comes out in like June and the championship is 2 months. So I think that they just wanted to get something out so that people could start downloading and getting their stuff ready for champion, like the actual Pokemon Championship. So I don't think this is going to be that much further afterwards. I think they just wanted to get the Switch version out to just kind of make sure it's working. And then maybe within like a couple months, push out the mobile version. Because the mobile version is going to be huge. Like, I cannot stress this enough. This game is going to, as long as they don't royally screw it up, and with a lot of the new details today, I don't think they did. This game is going to be huge on phones. Like, the ability to battle Pokemon is like, we all We all love it, right? Like that's one of the main reasons why the game exists. Stadium games, all of these games, people like just battling. And so to be able to battle anywhere you go on your phone and ease of use on a game that's basically built from the ground up to be battling other people is going to be, I think, an extremely addictive thing. So people are gonna, oh, I'm gonna get one more battle in before they go to bed and they have their phone up, right? Like being able to battle in my bed. I mean, you could technically do that on the Switch anyways, right? But there's just the level of on your phone. I don't know what it is, but like just the comfort and the compactness of a phone is like super nice for this. So yeah, I thought this is good. And then she comes home and then she has to defeat her parents. Okay. So so that was the trailer. Again, they didn't really show much in the trailer, but they did show a few things. So we're gonna go to the website really quick. Give me a second here. And the website got updated with a lot more information. So I wanted to go over some of that information and kind of give my thoughts and opinions. And then some of the other screenshots that maybe might not be on here. So, all right. So the latest news thing is just from how much, I'm curious what they posted in the latest news. Let's find out. Why am I seeing this page? Gamers, I can't reveal that I'm a robot. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So Pokemon Champions coming to Nintendo Switch 2026. It says Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android devices. So Switch and Switch 2 are both getting it. Okay. So they have this trailer. Mega Evolution Fun hardly ends with Dragonite. You can obtain even... Oh, okay. So players who download the game before a certain date will able to claim a Dragonite from their in-game mailbox. So you get a free Dragonite. I assume it comes with a Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution Fun hardly... Okay, so yeah, it sounds like you can get... It's a Mega Evolution. It does. Okay, so you get a Mega Evolution Dragonite to start your case off. Mega Evolution Fun hardly ends with Dragonite. You can obtain even more Mega Stones for Pokemon that Mega Evolve in Pokemon Legends ZA. To commemorate the release of Pokemon Champions, an in-game campaign will be held whereby players can receive Chestnutite. Dude, I'm so bad at pronouncing these names. Delphoxite, Greninjite. Is that what they call the Megas? And Flotite. I don't know how to say. Dude, is this what? Why not just Greninja, Mega Greninja? What is? Are they just like specific names? The Mega Stones, is that what they are? Okay. So the big question mark that a lot of us have, and I don't think it's fully been answered, is how are held items going to transfer over to this game? Because it sounds like all of the Mega items you're getting are from like doing side things. So I think that's my really only like concern is like, are they going to really hard gatekeep the held items, aka Mega items? Are they all going to be, is there going to be some sort of shop you can get these with VP? So by storing the Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, and Eternal Flower Floette you befriended during Pokemon Legends ZA in Pokemon Home, and bringing them to Pokemon Champions as visitors, you can obtain their Mega Stones from your mailbox in Pokemon Champions. Well, gamers, I'm going to be needing some of these Pokemon because I do not have Pokemon Legends ZA. I assume if trading these Mons shouldn't be that crazy, right? Like if I wanted to get, can you trade with other people in Pokemon Home, or can you only trade in-game of the games that you're in? It's been so long. I remember trading on the games. You can trade in Home. Okay, so someone, if I wanted to, so you don't need to own the game in order to get the Pokemon, correct? It does have a free tier. Yep, there's a free and premium tier. I think the free tier only allows up to 30 mons in there. I don't know. How does anyone know what the cost of the premium tier is? $15? Okay, that's not too bad. I'll probably just spend the $15 on this. A year? Oh, dang. Interesting. Okay. So by linking Pokemon Champions to Pokemon Home, you'll be able to bring certain Pokemon to Pokemon Champions as visitors, as well as send visiting Pokemon back to Pokemon Home. If visiting Pokemon know moves that you can't be used in Pokemon Champions, they will have to learn new moves via training. If you train visiting Pokemon in Pokemon Champions and return them to Pokemon Home, they will retain those training results and when returned to Pokemon Champions unless they return in a different form. Okay. So it sounds like you can train them in the victory points thing here, send them back, and their EVs are not affected in the other games, is what I'm understanding. It sounds like, yeah, they're like the EVs and whatever they're using for champions are like two separate things that accomplish the same goal but don't mess up the other thing. Which is, I think, a good thing, right? Like, again, we'll see. I'm curious to see once this starts actually being the actual hub of everything, to where how, like, if it's just going to become like future games are always going to have this victory point thing. But the fact that it's not messing with it if you send it back is very good. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Please note that only Pokemon that appear in Pokemon Champions will be able to visit from Pokemon Home. Also note that Pokemon obtained in Pokemon Champions cannot be sent to Pokemon Home. Okay. So you can't get a Pokemon in Champions and then send it back. It can only be mons that you bring over from other games. Okay. Aim for the title of champion alongside Pokemon you've befriended thus far in Pokemon Legends ZA, Pokemon Go, and other titles in the Pokemon series. So basically, if you can access it on Pokemon Home and it is a legal mon in Pokemon Champions, then you can bring it over. I assume we're going to get a list of, 300, 400 Pokemon, very similar to other competitive situations that you will have a list to pull from. So it's not, the full dex, which makes sense. As you enter Pokemon Champions, is this like a video? For the first time, you'll be greeted by a variety of friendly faces that will always be around to help you as you prepare for battle. Tutora will help you get into the swing of things by helping you enter competitions. Kit will help you partner up with Pokemon at Roster Ranch, and Cordy will share new strategies with you as you battle in Pokemon Champions. Cordy's going to tell us things like, did you know that Pokemon evolve? Really good, helpful tips. I'm excited to see what Cordy's helpful information is on the internet. You'll meet Caraway and Kojima too as you enter the battle arena. Get ready for the battles of a lifetime trainers. Okay, there's nothing else here. Okay, so then, nope, there was more stuff. Okay, battle your way, more battle details. Okay. Pokemon Champions is a space tailor-made for fiery battlers, just like you, just like me. And there's plenty to enjoy, from fun casual battles to heated ranked battles. So ranked battles, there are 3 different modes of Pokemon, 3 battle modes and 2 formats. Okay, sorry, 6 vs 6 gamers, but it's going to be 3 vs 3 in doubles. There are 3 different ranked battles, casual battles, and private battles. You can challenge these modes in single battle and double battle formats. Like, this was pretty understandable. In ranked battle mode, you'll test your skills against Pokemon trainers from all over the world. Your rank will change depending on your battle results. This way, you're sure to experience intense battles against trainers of a similar skill level. That makes sense. Playing ranked battles also lets you obtain VP after your matches, depending on the outcome. So, I think the VP system is actually pretty interesting to me in that it's really not that much different from what we were already doing in competitive, right? So, In competitive, you would win matches, and then at the end of a sequence, you would get, depending on your rank, you would get so many basically points that you could use to reinvest into like vitamins or battle items. And then you would use those points to buy the battle items to train other mons. And you basically were winning, you know, at the end of a season. At least for my, did they change that for Gen 9? It's been so long. But like at the end of the season is usually when you got your rewards, bottle caps and things like that. But it sounds like with this, you're going to get, and it makes sense for a mobile game, you're going to get your VP right away. So they'll probably do some end of season rewards as well. I would be shocked if they didn't. But you're going to be getting this right off the bat, and then you can use your VP for other stuff, right? And we'll go into that for sure. Casual battles. In casual battles, you can play without worrying about wins or losses affecting your ranking. Just enjoy testing your battle team's performance against other trainers. It's a great way to experiment. And then private battles. Private battles, you can select the format and battle against your family, friends, or other people you know. Create a room where you and your opponent like to face can have an exciting battle. Yeah, this is no shocker here. This is like this to me is just basically what they already have in competitive ranked for Pokemon. So yeah, this is pretty standard. Nothing really new here other than that you're going to be able to get VP after every match. Okay, power up with victory points. So this is the main way you're going to be making like in-game purchases, not like using money, but this is like the money that's going to be used in the game. Victory points can be gained from ranked battles and other places in Pokemon Champions. So they've made mention of like these side missions that you can do, which sounds like classic mobile game to where you can like, if you battle 10 times, you'll get extra VP. They have a bunch of NPCs that we've already seen that are going to allow you to do other stuff. I'm very curious if they might have some side modes that are like not playing against real people, but bots or something like that. Or maybe I don't want to get anyone's hopes up for like a battle frontier thing. But when it says you'll be able to from other places in Pokemon Champions, that to me tells me there might be some single player options. Which I think is good. Right? I think if you go straight online battle, nothing small and fun, it probably, you lose interest from a huge group of people. So if there's some fun little side things you can do where you're battling against non-human beings, I think this is probably a way you're going to get points. So again, we'll see. They didn't reveal everything. I'm sure they want to keep a few secrets, but my guess is there's going to be other ways that you can, well, they say that you can earn other points, but it might be some fun little single player challenge things. You'll need VP to recruit and train Pokemon. VP cannot be directly is the key word here, directly purchased. So keep battling and gaining VP to power up your team even more. Battle to beat. Selecting your music when battling other trainers online has a common feature of Pokemon video games and Nintendo Switch, but Pokemon Champions is taking it one step further. In addition to original tracks from Pokemon Champions, you can enjoy battle songs from a variety of titles and other Pokemon series. That's nice. You can randomize. Oh boy. That'll be nice. You can keep it, you can switch it up. It's going to have music from all the recent games. Master Mega Evolution in ranked battles. Under the first set of rules for ranked battles held in Pokemon Champions, Pokemon will be able to undergo Mega Evolution. Get ready for intense battles between... Okay, so this is what a lot of people were thinking. So it's going to start out as Mega Evolution, but it might go to Dynamax the next time. It might go to Terra the time after. The way that they're wording this, and then this thing right here, is the big giveaway to me, the Omni Ring, a battle essential. The protagonists of this title wear a device called the Omni Ring, an item necessary for Mega Evolution. It's similar to Mega Rings in the Pokemon video game series. Other special features may be added. Research is being conducted to make the Omni Ring capable of drawing out a variety of Pokemon. Okay. This is literally them saying, hey, you're playing in Mega Evolutions on this season, but next season it's going to be Terra. Or the season after that, it's going to be Dynamax. Or the season after that, it's going to be, you know, Z moves or something like that. Yeah, you can see the Terra symbol. Is it this one? Which one is this? I don't remember. Which one is the, I don't know the symbols. I don't know if Z moves. Everybody seems to hate Z moves, but that's the Mega Evo. Oh, is the Terra one this one right here? The Leaf is the Megas. Or which one? I don't know. Oh, the Terra's right here. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, 100% they're going, which I think is actually kind of sick. Personally, this is my humble opinion. The fact that they're able, and this is probably why they wanted it to get everything on one game, is that the ability to go between different seasons and have different gimmicks that they can swap around to, I think is a really cool idea. So they're going to start with Megas, and then probably the next one will be Terras, and being able to have to like, okay, change my strategy completely and go back to an older way of playing or a different style or mix and match. Like, I would not be surprised if one season is you can do one or the other. I think this helps keep it fresh without having to constantly introduce new Pokemon. Or like legal Pokemon. Like the problem with competitive is always it comes out with like the national decks, and then they introduce like the DLC Pokemon that you can get in the DLC, and then they introduce the legendary Pokemon, and then eventually it just gets to you're just using all the legendary Pokemon. This allows them to kind of get a little bit more fresh, in my opinion, when it comes to keeping, you know, you don't have to just rely on implementing new Pokemon, but you can do a bunch of other stuff like that. Yeah, it's additional option to what they already do regulations. So I like that. Okay. Assembling your, this is where the interesting part comes in, and I have theories on this. So this is like the big one, right? Like, is assembling your team easy? Is it a complete mobile scam? Is it going to be something that like makes sense if you haven't played this before and you're not going to be, you know, intimidated to someone like me who's done a lot of competitive? So expand your Pokemon roster with new friends. You can bring some of your past partners into Pokemon Champions through Pokemon Home, and you can recruit Pokemon from within the game itself. So Home, obviously, huge. There's going to be a list of Pokemon. You can bring those Pokemon over from the other games that you have if you already have them. Pokemon Home is an app. By linking Pokemon Champions to Pokemon Home, you'll be able to bring certain Pokemon to Pokemon Champions as visitors, as well as sending visitor Pokemon back to Pokemon Home. Aim for the title of Champions alongside Pokemon you've befriended thus far in Pokemon Legends ZA, Pokemon Go, and other titles. They don't even mention Gen 9, which is hilarious to me. Like, the last mainline game doesn't even get dropped here. They're like, frick it, doesn't exist. Pokemon ZA, Pokemon Go, don't worry about it. They've already said that if you have Pokemon, and let's say you have all your EVs set to a specific thing on Gen 9, and you transfer it over to Pokemon Champions, the victory point system, which we'll read about, does not impact the EVs that you set up for in the other game, which makes me believe that IVs will not matter in this game. We'll find out, but I think that IVs don't matter. And it's just you transfer Pokemon over, you do the VP points, and then you don't have to worry about like IV stuff. It's just going to come up. We'll find out if that's true, but that would actually be really huge. And so any changes you make with the victory point system is not, and you send that same Pokemon back to Gen 9, it has zero impact on the EVs and IVs of that Pokemon. So that to me is like extremely good because they're just separating the system and they're not mixing it up. They're not going to try to like calculate, oh, you have this amount of EVs in your Pokemon from Gen 9. Well, we're going to like do a 1-to-1 ratio transfer when you bring it over to Champions. It's just like a new slate. It's you know, the normal EV IV, and then it has a new set of skills that you're going to customize here. So this is where it comes up. Recruiting Pokemon in Pokemon Champions. Instead of catching Pokemon in Pokemon Champions, you recruit them from Roster Ranch. You can recruit Pokemon by using VP to select from a roster of random Pokemon. You'll be able to meet a new lineup of Pokemon without using VP every 22 hours. So this is trial recruitment. So this is basically, you will get 22 Pokemon every day. You can test them out. You can use VP to give them a shot and rent them. And then if you don't like the rotation, my guess, this isn't 100% confirmed, but based on the wording, you can probably spend VP, re-roll for another 22 Pokemon that you want to test, and then try to go that. So this is, from my perspective, awesome. And here's why. For me, streaming, there's a lot of challenge potential with this, where it's like you get the start of the day and it's okay, I got my 22, and you do a roll, and whatever 22 Pokemon you get in your new roll, you have to build a team from for that day. That's like easy YouTube stream content. If you're trying to get into this, and you're trying to like come up with some unique fun stuff, you don't think, or not 22 Pokemon, whatever the rotation is. Yeah, I'm the 22 hours. I saw 22 in my head. Sorry, not 22. The 22 hours thing is what was in my head. But like, it'll be a list of Pokemon, right? And if you don't like it, you hit a button, you get a reroll. And I think that's just really fun challenge content from my perspective. So I'm looking at that and thinking that's some potential there. But yeah, I think this is only for if you want to test Mons out, or you want to do a trial of a Pokemon. Permanent recruitment. Okay, so that's, have a Pokemon join your team for a trial period. You can battle with it right away to test whether it will suit your strategy. You can use trial recruitment once a day without using victory points. Permanent recruitment. Okay, so trial recruitment, I assume, is what this is talking about. You can recruit Pokemon by using VP to select from a roster of random Pokemon. Okay, permanent recruitment. Once you've found a Pokemon that's a good match for you, it can be added to your team permanently. To do so, you'll need to use victory points. So this is what I'm curious about. Do you only recruit from the rotation? Or, yeah, it looks like it costs 1,000 to recruit. So X number of Pokemon that you haven't permanently recruited. Or is it going to be, I assume it's just going to be based off the rotation. Yeah. So basically you can continue to roll to see if there's a Mon that you like and then purchase it, or you can transfer the Mon over from one of the games. Which, again, so there was a couple people being like, well, what the heck, man? Am I going to have to, buy the other games? You won't have to buy the other games. You can, roll them on. I mean, there's a little bit of a gotcha to this to pick out a Pokemon from that list. But, I mean, this is, again, they have to make money from this game. Their perspective is, we're going to give you an opportunity to roll Mons and pick Mons and all of the et cetera, and et cetera. I'm curious if it's not going to be fully evolved Mons at all in this recruitment section, because all of these Mons are fully evolved Pokemon. Yeah. This is the way this is, to me, this is looking at, this is, if you don't own any of the games, this is your way of potentially getting Mons to your team without having to go get the other games. And if you're like, screw this, I don't want to have to keep rotating, you can go, either you already purchased the game or you can transfer it over. Again, this makes sense to me from their perspective. They want to give them some accessibility if you've never played the games before, but they also want it to be to where if you don't want to have to go through this process, or you've been playing these competitive games every single gen, that there's a very easy way to transfer. And this is my theory, again, theory here. Because of what I think is going to work with the VP system in terms of stats. Djibouti, you were kind of talking about this in the channel. You can pull some let's say you wanted Gengar. I think you can pull some random Gengar off of any of the games, transfer it over, and then you do all of the normal VP training in this game without any inclination of doing the other stuff in the other games, and then take a random Gengar and you're good to go. I don't think, again, I think they're just completely scrapping my guess is that IVs are not going to transfer over to this game whatsoever, and it's going to be 100% based on just the VP system that they use. Recruit Pokemon even faster. Okay, you can also recruit Pokemon by using tickets instead of VP. Items such as quick coupons and teammate tickets are available, and these are primarily obtained through missions in-game. Primarily, you can also purchase these. This is where the money comes in. By using quick coupons, you can shorten how long you must wait to recruit a Pokemon by 1 hour per coupon. Lamau. By using teammate tickets, you can permanently recruit Pokemon without using VP. Permanent recruitment. Okay. So basically, if you don't want to grind VP, this is what you're going to be using to purchase VP. And this, to me, again, you have to understand. They're not doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They have to make money from this game. The dev hours, they probably ran the numbers and said, we can't make this a loss leader, right? We need to make some level of money from this. So this allows you, if you want to grind, you can grind. If you want to jump ahead, you can jump ahead. There's honestly multiple ways, right? If you want to purchase the games and transfer them over there, you can do that. This is just, there's 3 ways. VP, no spending money in the app, or spending money in the game and transferring the mons over. So I think, again, at the end of the day, having options is good. Some people don't have time and they're going to want to spend money to do some of this. I don't think it's going to make a huge advantage. If you're playing completely free, you might, not be able to put the teams together immediately that you want. But for the most part, it feels like a pretty fair system for a game that literally will not cost a penny if you don't want it to. Again, I think honestly this isn't that bad. I'm not saying it's fantastic, but I don't think it's that bad in terms of what it's going to be. Malevolent Marshmallow, thanks for the Prime Gaming sub. And again, the end of the day, this is their flagship game for competitive. So I don't think it's going to be ridiculous. They know that this needs to be accessible, and they know that it can't piss off their audience for competitive, because everything is coming back to this for the foreseeable future. It would be my guess. How big a barrier to entry getting an initial team or 2 is if you have to spend a bunch of money to make the teams you want without using Pokemon Home, it'll ruin accessibility. So I think they had mentioned that you get, I would guess that you'll be able to put together a team of 6 pretty quickly. Right? They want you to be able to have a team of 6 so that you can just jump into battles and start earning VP. My guess is that the first six Pokemon you choose, you'll be able to get it off of the rotation that comes with it, right? That's Ruler. Thanks for the 24 months. Okay, train your Pokemon. Tailor your Pokemon skills in the training feature of Pokemon Champions. By using VP, you can hone your Pokemon's attack, defense, and other stats. You can even alter their abilities and moves. Customize your team to match your battle style. Though remember that you can't train Pokemon during their trial recruitment period. Okay, so the trial recruitment period is it's literally just a pre-built Pokemon, and it probably has some recommended stats that it comes with. I'm trying to see how much, I think there's been a video of showcasing how much each stat costs in an earlier video. Does anybody know what that number was, to make a stat go up 1 point or whatever? It's on Cerebi. Yo, Candle, thanks for gifting a sub. Running short on VP, you can always use a training ticket to train your Pokemon instead. Reduce the required amount of VP to 0. This is Yeah, this is literally taking the method that they use already in Gen 9 competitive and just turning it into, hey, I can purchase this. Mega Dragonite is coming to Pokemon Champions. Did they talk about they have not talked about the cost of the training tickets. All right, that's it. That's all they have on the website. I do know it's 2 VP per stat. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. If it costs 1,000 VP to purchase a Pokemon, and you can get, hold on, go back to this. You can get, it looked like, so it looks like 66 points. So what, 132? So effectively, it costs 1,132 points to purchase a Pokemon to use for competitive. Yeah, they upped it. They just made it a nice round number. I'm gonna snooze again. How much money they're hoping it looks like it has 0 casual appeal. Oh my gosh. Disagree. Disagree. I think people genuinely, I think people vastly underestimate having accessible ways to battle on your phone. The fact that it is on phone is 100% in itself extremely casual appeal. Yes. Like I think that the fact that you can just hop in on your phone and play and battle and jump in right away, this will be huge. If it's free to play and it doesn't take an insane amount of work of just getting a team going. And I have to, again, this is just the marketer inside of me. I have to think that putting together your first team will be pretty much, they'll give you enough VP to do that. And then if you want to change your Pokemon, it's going to cost you VP points, which you're going to get by playing the game, which you're going to get by doing tasks. People with Pokemon and people with skill. I mean, at the end of the day, the rank system is going to be tailored towards, if you're bad, you're going to be playing other bad people. That's the whole point, right? Like if you're really, really good, you're going to just move up and you're going to just be playing against other people within your skill system. I mean, again, at the end of the day, I don't think the pay to play is going to change a huge amount of it, because if the rank system is how they're talking about it and how it's always been, you're just going to be playing people against your rank. So it's like any other ranked skill elo system, is the elo will place you against other people within your elo. So if you're quote unquote getting owned by people that have wallets, you will be put into a pool. If like that's, let's just say worst case scenario, right? You're going to be put into a pool of other people that also have wallets or no wallets. And then you'll just continue to refresh. I'm telling you this without a shadow of a doubt, this is going to do extremely well within casuals. I think you vastly underestimate the power of playing on your phone anywhere you want in a quick battle online, no matter if you're good or you're bad. I've done competitive for a very long time, and like there are all types of skill levels that play just competitive, a very niche part of the market that's super niche. And you would think something like competitive would be only good players. When you first start, people are bad. Like there are literal children playing these games that are awful. And then so it's not like it's only going to be like really good gamers that do this from home without needing to pay anything past it. Home is a free thing that you can pay money for to get more access. If you have home, the freemium version or the free version on Belmont, you'll be able to use it. You're casting a shadow. Home is free. It's for League of Legends. Most of the people play for fun. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like every single game has like that has any type of competition. There's always going to be, you know, like the diamond players, the grandmaster players, but there's always ranks for people that are bad, right? League of Legends did not quickly disappear because, you know, there was a skill gap and you just got placed in the, you know, wood tier and you played against other wood players. And I'm not trying to disparage people who are in wood, but I'm just saying that the system is literally built in League of Legends for you to continue to play, right? It's continually built so you play people that are just close enough in skill to where you can win and lose 50-50 and you continue to grind. And this game is going to be the same exact thing in that regards, to where if you want to continue to play, you're going to get people that are going to be in a skill level very similar to yours. There's going to be plenty of that. But yeah, you can Pokemon Home. There's a free version which allows you to have 30 Pokemon in the box. So it requires a lot more extra work to manage the box and the inventory of transferring mons in and out. But overall, like, you can make it. If you don't want to spend a dime on this, Belmont, you'll be able to. Will you be at a disadvantage in terms of quality of life stuff? Yes. But it's $15 for a year if you want the premium home version. I didn't know the Pokemon was, and I was too afraid to ask. You should have asked, Monk. I would have not made fun of you. How long will it be to be able to climb a free-to-play? Well, one of the things that I'm interested in doing myself is probably do a free-to-play challenge. Here's the thing, man. Like, at the end of the day, when it comes to competitive Pokemon, the meta will be, the mons that are really good will be known very quickly, and you'll probably be able to get access. Let's just say, for example, there's 20 good Pokemon, really, really good Pokemon. You're going to get access to those Pokemon just like everybody else, and then you're going to be able to build it just like everybody else, and then the money doesn't matter anymore. It's not like there are 200 really good Pokemon, and you have to have 200 really good Pokemon to compete. There's just going to be the really strong mons that you pay for with the VP, and then you literally set them the way that a guide has on Cerebi to build them on the right way, and then you're ready to go, and then it just comes down to, are you good? That's the way that it works in these games. You really, like, I'm telling you, the amount of money investment, if you don't want to put it there, is not going to be that high. It's just one of those things to where, now if you want to build your own fun, you know, goofy teams like I want to do and try new things, then, you know, building a team might be a little bit more like time consuming, or you're gonna have to spend some money on it. But if you just want really good Pokemon that the meta says is really good, it is not going to be that complicated from a time investment or a money investment, because all of the people are going to do the research for you and saying these are good Pokemon, buy these, guaranteed. The casual free-to-play experience, again, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I want to, like, there's a lot of ideas that I have with this to where I could do a free-to-play only model where I'm only using the VP points to put my teams together, and I'm dodging really strong mons. There's a lot of really easy YouTube content that I think we could make out of this from a challenge thing. I was thinking about this last night. I could make a YouTube video on can you climb the Champions Ladder with only Gen 1 Pokemon? Can you climb with only Gen 2 Pokemon? Can you climb with only free Pokemon? Can you climb with only water Pokemon? Can you climb with only baby Pokemon? Can you climb with mons outside of the top 30 Pokemon? There's a lot of potential to create content around this and put it on YouTube, and it be like just very, very easy, good YouTube video content that showcases the battles, showcases the ranked, and answers the question, can you do this? There's going to be videos for like how to build a good team without spending money. Like there's, you know, how to build the best team, how to combat this OP mon, how to build a team in general. So it's going to be extremely, extremely exciting, and I think there's a lot of potential, and I think that just in general, this game will be again, in my opinion, very accessible. I'm a little sad that they're not going to be able to get the phone version of it out at the same time, because I think that would just ginormously explode it. But I do, again, my suspicions are they just wanted to get a working version before championships start, and then probably introduce phone around championships time, or just kind of like ease into it like a month or two afterwards, so people have time to kind of work around with the game. Yeah, for depending on how they do mechanics and limit Pokemon, yes. But okay, gamers, I gotta run ads. I'll still be talking over the ads, but I gotta get the ads. I've snoozed them so many times. But yeah, I to me, I'm not saying it's perfect. I would love a situation to where you could just go into a list of Pokemon. Let's say they have 300 Pokemon. You just go down like a shop and buy one. But you essentially can do that by just owning the other games. And if you don't own the other games, you're just going to have to use the rotation system. But again, it sounds like you can fast forward the rotation system via the ticket things if you want to spend money that way. 2 months later, yeah, I would not be surprised if that is the formula that they use. And they've already talked about, I didn't see it on this website, but they already talked about cosmetics. There's going to be unique Pokeball throws, there's outfits, there's colors. I think there is, hold on, let me actually bring up, I don't think, did they show anything about the battle pass on the website? If not, I'll take a picture of it from what we have pinned. You can do pre-battle pose, Pokeball throw animation, and your victory animation. Okay, there's a battle pass. Let me just get the battle pass, a picture of the battle pass. And then apparently there's something, I'll actually get both of these up. Hold on. These are all of these things. Again, if you're more curious about what the game is going to be, we have a channel in my Discord for Pokemon Champions, and it's already hopping. Like, we're all dissecting all of this stuff. It's getting already pretty, like, we're trying to find out all the information that we can. And then this is the other one. Again, at the end of the day, it's a mobile game and it's free. Like, these are just the rules that you play by. The fact that they have other ways to get the Pokemon if you already own the games. Because again, here's the reality of the situation is, if you're interested in Pokemon Champions, more than likely you have one of these other games. Are there people that don't? Absolutely. I'm sure there are people in here that have never owned a mainline game, but this is interesting to them, right? Like, I'm sure these people exist, but it's a very small amount of people at the end of the day. So I think that this idea, you know, that if you don't like the rotation thing, that you're just screwed. You have the other games that you can get. You have home, which you can literally, here's the thing. Again, our community is probably going to be very generous, right? If you don't own some of these games, you can be like, hey, Djibouti, I really would love a Gengar. Could you go in and catch me a Gengar and just send me one really quick so that I could add it to my home and then send it over to Champions? And someone in the community would be like, sure, that will literally take me 1 minute. I can do that for you. And then it's there. And then you do all of the VP stuff from there to here. Like, in our community specifically, I think if people are concerned about not owning the main games, there will be people that will be 100% willing to help. Yeah. And Djibouti is the cow? Yeah. And the way that I think that they're making this system to where IVs don't matter Again, this is just a theory, but the way that they worded it to where sending the Pokemon back to the other game has no impact on it. If IVs truly don't matter, and I'm praying they don't, then the system becomes extremely awesome because you can literally catch any Pokemon. It literally takes a minute to go into Scarlet Violet, find the area that the Pokemon spawn, capture them, and then put it in home, and then boom, you're ready to go. That is my theory. I think IVs are just dead for champions, and that the only thing that matters is just you have a Pokemon, you transfer it over to champions, and then you use the VP system to do it. It's not just Ubers. It won't start out as Ubers at the start. Oh, man. But yeah. How do Pokemon Go transfer Pokemon handle IV? That's a good question. How do Pokemon Go like did they get rid of IVs in Pokemon Go? Home is linked to a champion, so you don't have to even do it. Pogo IVs are random. Moonland, thanks for gifting a sub. No, there are 3 stats with IVs. It's the score. I think it's random. Looking to get that badge, yo, cool. So and then at the start of this chat, they have this thing here. They have Pokemon Champion Starter Pack. The game will be free to play and includes a one-time purchase. We'll see how much that costs of a starter pack. This includes 50 additional box space from 30 to 80, Verse Trainer theme from LGPE, 50 training tickets, and 50 recruitment tickets. So at the start of the game, vanilla, without having to pay any money, you will have 30 slots. So you will have up to 5 teams if you want to not spend a dime. And I'm very interested in this. I might just make this a free-to-play thing, although I'll probably want to transfer Pokemon over from the other games. I haven't decided yet. There's a lot of ways we can go about this, but 30 slots is really not that bad. It's not fantastic, but you'll just have to do a little bit more of transferring. But 30 slots is also what the home box is too. So lose IV to the ones you get natively rather than transfer are better. The music from other games over time. Look at the verbiage differences. Transfer to home, withdrawal, and deposit with champions is linked. For some people, yeah. I mean, again, I'm probably going to spend the 50 or whatever bucks it is to get this for ease of use. But you could absolutely, like 30 will be fine for most people that are not Djibouti. 30 months is a lot of months, man. And if you don't like some, you can just transfer them out, right? All I got that matters is the lineup rotation is shared across all players. So my understanding is it says random Pokemon. And then you can basically re-roll a Pokemon every 22 hours. Or you could speed up the process. I think it's going to be like everyone has different Pokemon. I don't think it's going to be like League of Legends where you have your set, because you can speed up the process and you can fast forward. I think it's literally just random. So, and then again, I have no idea what the battle pass is going to include. Again, the big question here is, what does the battle pass entail? And how are held items going to work? That is the big question. We still don't know any information about held items. I think that is the one concern a lot of people have right now. Are held items going to be awkward? If we can get the held items thing taken care of, I will be stoked. And it's not anything crazy. How much does the battle pass cost in Unite? There are held items. It's just a matter of how do you access them. You can't transfer held items through home. Correct. That's why people are concerned, right? We don't know how they're going to handle that. $10 a month? How often does the battle pass come out in Unite? It's longer than a month. Grovik, thanks for the 140. It was like every 2 months. Yeah, again, the held items, if they don't frick up the held item thing, then I have a lot of faith in this game. Even if they frick up the held item thing, it'll be like, man, that sucks. They shouldn't do that. But everything they revealed today, to me, seems like a very, for the most part, solid. Like, this is workable for a lot of people. I mean, you're going to get people posting like, this is the end, like they're milking us, this game's gonna suck. But I think those are gonna be overreactions. I think in general, they have a formula here for pretty much, again, within our community, I think people should be relatively happy. Because if you need a Pokemon and you do not own some of the other games, we're gonna have people that are gonna be able to send you Pokemon easily. And I think the training set part of this is very simplified and nice. Paywalling items is a bit sus. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, who knows? We don't know. We have no idea. We just know there's a battle pass, right? And in the battle pass, those look like you get a Pokemon, you get a mega evolution thing, you got the tickets here. I don't know what you get as you play more, obviously. I have no idea, man. I think, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to be able to purchase the items with VP, right? I think realistically, held items will have a shop that you can purchase with VP. They haven't showed that yet, but it makes zero sense for them to lock all battle items behind a paid thing. That makes no, like, when they have this in-game currency. We just don't know. So, do they have held items in Unite? Again, I know that's a MOBA, but I assume there's still like some sort of weird held items in that game. How do they handle held items in Unite? Oh, they did mention abilities and natures. It says you can even change abilities in the stat thing and moves. You can pay to win, basically. They're bought with game currency, so like VP. Oh gosh. Well, isn't Unite Tencent? It's like a completely different company. It's not like the main Pokemon. Okay. That gives me a lot of relief that they're not going to mess around with held items in this game. Because Tencent is not touching this. So, yeah. Up for stats, and that's what makes it pay to win because the level currency is paid. Okay, yeah. That's a different system then. Like, this is literally going to be, my guess, again, my guess would be that this will be, you pay VP to purchase an item from a store. Would be my guess. I would be shocked. Again, at the end of the day, this is something that always comes back to if you're like worried about a certain situation. This game is meant to be the next where all of the VGC stuff is going to be hosted on, right? There is zero way that they would put held items in a situation that alienates that base. Just full stop. They're not going to introduce something to where you can only get these held items with in-game purchases with real money. You're going to be able to use the VP points to purchase the items you want and put them on Pokemon via a store or something, right? Like, there's It doesn't make any sense. They understand the importance of going from what they have now to this, and I just see no, like, everything they've shown us so far has been reasonable. I just don't see a world like everything they showed us so far seems genuinely reasonable and allows for people of different, like, what they want to do and what they want to get out of this. It to me feels like there's an option for them. So I've got a lot. It's not I got a lot of faith. They've showed us a lot of information that I think is reasonable. They're a fundamental thing to VGC. Yeah. If they're gated, it will be so bad. I just don't. It just makes zero sense for them to do that. And it's such a random thing for them to gate too, right? You'll probably be able to get some held items in the battle pass. But you'll be able to get all of them via VP for sure. Because again, at the end of the day, they want to make, this is something I think is a really important part of this. They want to make money. And you know, people like to complain about Pokemon and like, oh, the games are not optimized or this or that. They have not reached the brand recognition that they have gotten here by sheer just like tripping down the stairs and landing on their feet. Like, they know what they're doing. Are they perfect? No. Do they make mistakes? Yes. But generally speaking, for the most part, like, this company knows what it's doing in terms of reaching audiences and things like that. So they're not going to do something that just completely jeopardizes that on a mainline game that they are pushing as like this branch off of the casual and competitive side of things. Yeah, so I just there's a lot of hoopla of like, what if I'm not worried about it until they prove me wrong. I'm going to trust, and this new news feels literally right up what I'm looking for. How do you expect the game? They've already talked about it. You're gonna get, if you want to speed up the process of, you get tickets, like I think they're ranch tickets and like roster tickets or something like that. And you're right here. Recruit Pokemon even faster. Quick coupons and teammate tickets. So this will probably, you can purchase in game, and all this does is it basically does the VP stuff, but you can speed up the process, which is fine. The VP thing is going to be, this is like, again, genuinely speaking, you can get all of this stuff. The stuff like here, you can literally just pop into one of the games or have a friend that transfers over a Pokemon to you from home. And this basically circumvents the teammate tickets and the quick coupons. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Like this stuff right here. So they have multiple options right now. Pay to speed up the game is the same as pay to win for you. It's not, it really isn't though. I very much disagree in a game like this. Again, they have to make money. They genuinely have to make money here, and you can put your, like, I'm telling you this for a fact. The way Pokemon meta works, if you want to put together a viable team of 6 really, really good Mons in the meta, it is not going to take you a very long time to put that together for free. It's just not. Just based on the information that they have, especially if you're a part of our community, if you don't have a single friend that exists on the internet and you are playing by yourself, it's not going to take a lot of time. Because you just need to pick 6 Pokemon. It'll be very public what Mons are really good, and then you spend the VP points. Like, they want you to start playing the game, so they're going to give you VP in order to put together a team. I think some people just want to be completely free. Yeah, it's just never going to be Showdown, and I think people having this expectation that it was just going to be 1-for-1 Showdown, I don't know what to tell you, man. They got to make money, man. Like, these things cost money to make. So I think that having options is good. And I think that at the end of the day, like, does someone that, you know, just wants to spend $100 to get access to all the Pokemon, are they going to have a slight advantage over somebody that just is meticulous in how they pick? Maybe. But I think at the end of the day, you play and you have your team, and if you're the better player, you're going to win and you're going to beat somebody. I could spend $200 and get all of the stuff and not know what I'm doing and just lose. It's not like I can spend $100 and then I can get 10 extra stats on my Pokemon versus your Pokemon that doesn't have those stats. That to me is pay to win. When I pay $100 to make my Pokemon better than yours and you can't catch up, that's pay to win to me. But there's nothing like that whatsoever. You know? But again, this is, to me, the way that they're doing this to me seems pretty reasonable, and I'm excited for it. And again, if there's a lot of people that are like, I don't know if I'm going to get involved, it seems like it's hard for me to go in. Maybe I'll just start off, at least in the first month, and not spend a single dime and not transfer any Pokemon over and just start building teams based off of, you know, no spending money, at least for the first month, just to see how it goes. Yeah, it won't take months to get a team. It'll probably take a day, if that, right? I think they're going, again, they want you to play the game, so they're going to give you enough resources to just make a team early on so you can start grinding and earning points. So, all right, well, that is the breakdown of this. Again, I'm excited. Do we have any... Is Supreme around? I'm going to highlight this really fast. I think I can highlight VODs while streaming.